This video explainer clears out the doubts and confusions of school heads and teachers who are presently developing learning activity sheets. This explains further the connection of the recently explained IPO vis-a-vis the released division last template. As IPO framework was introduced to deepen the contents of the learning activity sheets, many have been confused if this is a new template. To clear things out, IPO is a concept or a framework that allows a smooth flow of lessons to make things easier for the learners. IPO is not a template, but a framework to guide writers so that they will be able to craft the last logically and comprehensively. These three process steps, as emphasized in the previous video, will guide teachers in smooth transition of crafting LAS and to the learners to work on a sequential pattern of learning even without the guidance of teachers. This is the last template released through a division memorandum that suggested the essential parts for contents, activities, and assessments will be written and that will form part of the complete learner materials per learning area. These are even used by most teacher writers in crafting the learning activity sheets. The confusion of the school heads and teachers started when the deepening of the essential concepts of LAS making was released through a video explainer. Much more confusion sprouted when a non-template based learner materials was shown as an example of the learning activity sheets. While the IPO is deepened as a strong reference that will guide teachers in smooth transition of developing LAS, more questions are being raised as to what will be followed. This short video will clear all the clouds, and this will show further that there is no deviation between the IPO concept and the last template released by the division office. To emphasize further and by looking thoroughly at the parts of the division last template, the IPO concepts and elements are integrated. This shows that IPO concepts are congruent to the template provided by the division memorandum. Let us say, for example, Activity 1 caters to the knowledge objective, its input. Activity 2 caters to the skill objective, its process. Activity 3 caters to the attitude objectives, it is again process. And the last is performance task, which is the output. Let us take a look at these two learning materials design. One is template-based LAS, and the other is a non-template LAS format. And let us see if there are differences of the LAS designs. In the template-based LAS, the date is indicated and this is labeled as Activity 1, which focus on knowledge. Same entries with the non-template LAS design, and only section and dates were removed. But both of them are inputs either taken from a book or other reference materials. The process takes part in providing activities that measures formatively the objectives in skills and attitudes. Both template-based and non-template LAS design have similar entries, and the only difference is there is no specific day for the other designs. But both entries are the same, and both areas are focusing how learners process the activities and how learning are processed to the students using the activities. Looking at these two pictures, the template-based LAS requires performance tasks as the last part of the learning activity sheets. Same with the previous examples, which is the non-template format. The LAS requires output of learners to manifest performance tasks. The comparative pictures concludes that there is nothing new with the IPO or the division LAS template. They are actually the same. The introduction of the IPO purposely deepens the concepts of writing the LAS to provide learners with smooth flow of the lessons from the start to end. To sum it all, wala pong bago at walang pagkakaiba ang LAS gamit ang division template. Ang IPO ay pangkalahatang konsepto na nag-uugnay sa tamang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga bahagi ng lessons. Nais ko lang iklaro muli na ang IPO ay hindi po template. Ito ay konseptong nagpapaliwanag kung paano mabuo ng angkop at payak ang ating dinisenyong learning activity sheets. And to close this, there are important things to ponder. First, designing LAS is not about a template. It is about how logical our designs are in making fluid connections of objectives, activities, and assessment. Second is designing LAS is not about the form. It's about the substance. And lastly, regardless with what forms or templates are used, the most important thing to consider is that all learning essentials are appropriate for learners and all learning tasks are within the capability of learners to use the competencies in real life. I hope things are clear already for all of us. Just keep moving and keep safe, everyone.